at $1,110,000 sold.
James Nicholson and his wife bought their family home in the suburbs of Brisbane on the last day of auctions before COVID-19 restrictions. They had serious reservations.
They were worried that their incomes were about to drop, and they were also concerned that maybe that, if they bought their house 2 months later, it might have been cheaper.
Today, on the day of settlement, James is feeling more positive, despite the prospect of a big fall in the value of his house.
I mean, no one wants to see their asset drop, but we're hanging on to it for a long time, so we're hopeful that in over 10, 15 years, we'll end up okay.
If Australia's biggest home lender is right, a prolonged downturn could see house prices crashing by 32%.
We also need to be prudent and consider both a realistic downturn scenario, but also to be planning for a worst case.
If CBA's dire prediction comes to pass, nearly $300,000 will be wiped off the median value of a home in Australia's most expensive city, which is Sydney. Even Darwin would see losses of well over $100,000.
And that has much worse implications, not just for the banks, but for the economy itself. Let's hope we're not going in that direction, but it is obviously a risk in the current environment.
What's already happened is that big bank dividends, which retirees in particular rely on, have been slashed by around $7 billion in the latest half. And if Commonwealth, which reports in a few months, adds to the cuts, it could take the figure to around $10 billion, a large amount of money in an economy which is shrinking at a record rate.
Incomes potentially are reduced by 30 or 40%, and at the moment they just can't see where they're going to have enough money to cover their living expenses.
The prospect of their houses being worth a lot less just adds to the gloomy scenario. Andrew Robertson, ABC News.